Got a couple more guys to come up still. Caleb, you ready? Hell yeah, guys. Make some noise to get Caleb up here to the stage. It's Caleb Roy. Let's warm up here. Alright.
Attaboy. This is the way.
He's the father, dude.
Attaboy.
Merry Christmas. You know me, I don't have jokes. I'm in the right spot, obviously. I'm better at telling stories, and I got one for you. I'm gonna spin you a yarn. I'm gonna sit, actually. And I'm gonna read most of it. Some of you know this story. This is a true story. Russell knows it. I think Shane might know it. I think this is the Shell Cartel. This happened about 12 years ago. And it's dense, so I'm gonna read it. It's fall of 2012. You remember where you were. It was about a year and a half after the tornado. The world was about to end because the Mayans said that it was gonna, and that didn't happen quickly. Obviously, it's getting there. We're on our way. It's taking a long way around. Back then, me and my girl, we lived in a place called Oswego, Kansas, just this little town on top of a plateau. 2,000 people. Not a lot of work out there, and it's remote, so hard to find money. But I had good tech sense even back then, and she had a real good market sense. So we would sell stuff. We'd do Etsy and eBay and just whatever we could find, and we sold a little bit of weed. So in Kansas, still, weed is very illegal. You can get 6 months for first-time possession if you sell an ounce. You're looking at like 4 years in Kansas, so it's harder to get, especially than it was. It's full of sticks, give you a headache, not great. But it was easier for us because we knew about the Silk Road. Do you guys know what the Silk Road is? You guys heard about that? Okay, so Silk Road was the first dark web marketplace, right? It was completely unregulated. You could buy weed or psychedelics or stimulants, opioids, poisons, firearms, credit card numbers, fake or stolen IDs and passports. You could get admin codes and keys to parking meters or ATMs or slot machines. You could get child pornography. You could hire a hit. You could buy murder on this website if you had the money and if you understood Bitcoin. In 2012, Bitcoin opened the year about $5, but it was double that by the time we found the shells. And below Oswego, along the edge of the plateau, Neosho River, it runs out of North Kansas, south into Oklahoma. It pools into Grand Lake, and it cuts into this plateau and exposes this cliff shale rock, 300 million years old, from back when the Earth was just plants and bugs and stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff out there, but the shells, they stuck out. There was just a ton of them. There were so many, thousands of them out there. They were thick and heavy, just mollusks. And tens of thousands of them, mostly dead, plenty of them alive, and they're beautiful, honestly. The whole shell is made of pearl, a lot of white, but you would get some pinks, even some purples out there, some blues, and they just looked like organs, sitting open on the shoreline there. And we were interested in them. We took them home and looked them up, and what we found a small but enthusiastic community of collectors and scientists. We had over a dozen species with us, and they wanted to buy them. Some of these, they wanted to buy, we sold for over $40 for one clam, about the size of a plate, like big. And so we went a little crazy at first. We overestimated the market a bit. We pulled hundreds and hundreds of shells, and we fell in love with them. We cleaned them up, we'd brush them out, and we'd list them. And this is how we met this guy, Roberto. Roberto, I can't really judge Roberto. Roberto's from Spain. His English was better than my Spanish, but his English was god-awful. I will have your finest Megalonius nervosa. You'll send me images of its website. I reserve them. He was just an asshole. He came across as very demanding. I didn't care for the guy, but he bought a lot of shells. He knew his shit, and he wanted to buy. He was picky, but no one bought more shells than him. One time, in the spring, he gets sniped at an eBay auction. And he was super pissed, and he emailed me. He says, I'm going to deal with you directly. No eBay, no auction, no PayPal. You just send me your bank account information, and I will transfer funds. I was like, my bank account? All right, I was sus. But this dude had already bought, I don't know, like tons of shells from us, at least 4 huge orders over the past 6 months. He was the whale, right? So by now, it's spring, it's March 2013. Bitcoin is just a little less than $40. And that month, Silk Road, a vendor familiar to us, he posts his spring shake. which is just a parcel of cuttings and trim, his most recent harvest. It's marijuana. He would sell a quarter pound, 4 ounces, for 3 Bitcoins, is what it was for this spring, just $120 at the time. And this shit comes from Good, it's dense, it smokes better than brick. You could sell that for $20 a gram in Kansas. I could get $2,000 for the QP. And on Silk Road, this sells out pretty quick usually. So we were like, let's get that. So I'm gonna close Roberto on another shipment, $150 worth of shells, right? I say, Roberto, let's do this. Here's the account information. It's not for me. This is for a broker in Spain. He's gonna buy Bitcoin with it. He's gonna send it to me. I get it basically instantly, and I'm gonna ship your shells. And he didn't like that at all, but what is he gonna not buy the shells? So he transferred the money. It goes directly into our Silk Road account. We buy the quarter pound, and the following morning we ship out the shells. 2 weeks pass. Bitcoin is at $57. Roberto's package has made it to customs. It's been sitting there a while. He's getting upset. He's like, where's my stuff? I said, just relax, Roberto. You know, this happens sometimes. They'll sit in customs. They're just inspecting it, and they'll release it, which they do. In the meanwhile, I don't know anything about my shipment. Like, I don't have a tracking number, for fuck's sake. It's marijuana. But eventually, sure enough, I go out to the mailbox. I open it up, and there's this parcel there, and it's packed tight. It's wrapped up in a ton of tape, no return address. I'm like, there we go. So I take it inside. We open it up. Weigh it out, we put some in a bowl, it's good shit, we break out the bags, we put, quarters in here, eighths over here, a couple of grams, we save some for ourselves. It takes about an hour for us to process all of it. And right as we're finishing up, right, on the door, I'm at this table, just about that size, and we're working with it. And I turn around, there's a big window next to our apartment door, the only door, and the blinds are just cracked, and I can see 3 guys in full riot gear with rifles out the door, just standing outside the apartment door. On its own, this much weed would put us away for probably 15 years. On the low end, Ashley's 24 years old, my girl, and we got it from Silk Road, and it was early, it was brand new. Most of the law enforcement and the legal system didn't know about Silk Road yet, and I knew that in a minute, I was going to be standing in front of a judge who had no idea about all this stuff. And when he heard about Silk Road, and when he found out all the fucked up shit you can do on there, I couldn't imagine what was about to happen to us. So I said, let's flush it. And we did. We tore all the baggies open. We go into the back and dump it all in the toilet. And the toilet is garbage. It won't flush. We're just pounding it over and over again, waiting for them to just kick the door in. And they don't. They wait. They go around to the whole apartment complex. They knock on all the doors. They pull everybody out. They want to know about us. What do they know about us? Who are these people? What do you know? They call my family. My sister's in this apartment complex, talks to them. My brother calls me on the phone. He says, hey, bro, there's cops outside your door. I said, yeah. You know what they want? He says, I think you know what they want. He says, I feel like they got you. Probably you just go outside, make it easier on yourself. I said, okay, well, in a second. It took us over an hour to flush everything. Stuff the bag somewhere, clean a little bit, say some stuff to each other, and then we opened the door and we went outside. These were agents with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They destroyed our apartment. We were charged with felony trafficking in protected species across state lines, internationally, criminal use of the postal system, like a dozen charges, multiple felonies, and a handful of misdemeanors as well. They brought us our weed pipes, told us we should get rid of that. We're not here for that, but you should probably get rid of that. The investigation was 2 months, and they fined us just a couple $1,000s. Roberto was furious. He never got his fucking shells. That shit was seized at customs, obviously. I didn't talk to him again. There was ongoing investigation. Nothing happened to him. He just didn't get his shells. Before the investigation closed, Bitcoin was $230. Today, the amount that he paid for those shells and what we bought that weed for, 350 grand. So we never bought anything on Silk Road again. We turned it off, and it was good because in the summer of that year, that site was seized by the FBI and shut down, and a whole bunch of people got in trouble. I dodged the bullet. It was close, but we got away. That's the story.
Caleb Roy, everybody.